friends, I just want to show you one of our staples is tofu scramble. So we have this for breakfast a lot, or brunch, or even dinner. We just make it a big jump, like a big pot of it, and then we have it. So I'm just going to show you, it's super easy. I'm going to start by just dicing a red onion. I cut it in half, so I have half onion here. I'm going to do just one block of tofu so I can show you. That'll be serving probably like 4 to 6 servings. For us, more like 2 to 3 because we like to eat a lot. And you're just going to dice the onion. Easy as pie. And then I should have had this started, but heat up the burner and we're going to put it on medium high. And I love gas stoves because they get hot so quickly. And we're going to minimize the oil use, so I'm just going to put a splash of water in the pan. And then we're going to throw these onions in here. Just disperse these on the pan like so. How's everyone's Sunday going? Pat's one, whoop whoop. Although it was at 7 o'clock here when it started, and I missed the whole thing. I woke up and found out we won. I'm gonna have to get up earlier for Sunday football. Okay, so that smells delicious. I got all these vegetables yesterday at the farmer's market for $26. I'm talking heaps of kale and Swiss chard and tomatoes and peppers and everything. So actually I have chopped this up. This is going to go into the scramble. It's fresh kale from Otsuji Farms. Then we have Ho Farms tomatoes. And then I have some capers and sun-dried tomatoes. So the reason I didn't put oil in the pan is because these sun-dried tomatoes were already soaked in oil, so we'll be getting a little bit of our fat from that. And no need to add more. Onions can cook fine in water. So once we cook the tofu down a little bit, this will be added last. So now the onions are starting to cook in there. And I'm going to cheat. Where's my garlic? Pour it, wait for it. It's a hidden mess in this fridge. Well, not mess. I just organized it, but maybe Elite knows where it is. He'll be back soon. Okay, so next we're going to add organic firm tofu. This is the tofu that I use most often, is the firm. Sometimes I use silken or soft tofu, adding it to my smoothies or to make a chocolate pudding out of, or what else do I use tofu? Oh, the silken tofu is good for like a sour cream or like creamy sauces, adding to salad dressings and such. But most of the time I'm cooking with firm tofu. I can get that chicken-like consistency. But right now we're going to actually make a tofu scramble. So here the onions are getting nice and crispy and sauteed. I just have this block of tofu and I'm just going to crumble it. If you guys can see here. Ooh. Literally just squeeze it. Crumble it up. Yummy, yummy. And you know what? Since I have a lot of veggies cut up, that doesn't look like too much. I might add one more block, just so I can do less cooking later. might as well do 2 blocks. Then my boo and I will have some food to snack on. And some people wonder about the consumption of soy and products like that as a, you know, meat replacer. And I think that organic soy is fine. It's from its whole food form. When you have soy protein isolate or texturized vegetable protein, that's when they kind of change it from its whole food form into something concentrated. So soy protein isolate, a lot of those fake meats are made out of. That's where I would say you should use that in moderation as like as a treat. I actually get heartburn when I eat soy protein isolate. My body's kind of naturally telling me this causes inflammation. But organic soy, edamame, tempeh is even better because it's fermented. It's good for probiotics. But all right, so now we're starting to see a scramble here. And what I love about it, no oils used. The water in the tofu will just keep cooking it down. I'll cover that and I'll put a lid on it. And I had to search for my garlic again. Where did I put the garlic? We're going to use these later. This is how you should store your vegetables that have the roots on it. So this is, look at how epic this green onion is. This is from Otsuji Farms as well. I mean, it's just massive. So that's in a large 32-ounce mason jar, top shelf in my fridge. And then some cilantro. I would put basil on top because it's kind of an Italian themed scramble, but we are out of basil. Okay, I found the garlic. So I'm cheating. Usually I like fresh organic cloves, but we got this at Costco because I use it so much, and sometimes we're just in a hurry and want something quick fix. So, and the reason I couldn't find it in the fridge because it's unopened and it was in the cupboards. Alright. And honestly, the more garlic the better. I was just listening to a talk with Dr. Jaff, spelled Jaffe, and he was saying that we need sulfuric foods in our diet. There's 5 different foods that contain sulfur. Garlic, ginger, broccoli sprouts, egg, and I can't remember the last one. And I don't eat eggs, but he said as long as you make those, like at least 2 of those a staple. And he's like, I'm talking not a condiment, a staple. Hey boo, how's the walk?
It was good.
You're on live.
Great.
Hoi.
Holy wait.
So being a staple, he's saying that when they eat garlic in their family, they roast a whole bulb and they each get a bulb with dinner. Or he's like, we eat enough ginger where we can still taste it the next morning. So it's a pretty large amount. So I'm always liberal when I use the garlic. So I'll take probably like at least 2 heaping tablespoons of this organic garlic. Nice and minced for me already. And then so we kind of want the tofu to dry up just a little bit. It can be very watery when you first put it in a pan, but since we're making scrambled eggs, it doesn't need to be like super dry like we'd be making chicken. However, we do want to cook down some of the moisture, and to help expedite or speed up that process, we can just add sea salt. So when you're actually cooking regular eggs, you don't want to add sea salt to the end because it'll dry the eggs. But since we want to dry up the tofu, we can put some nice Himalayan sea salt on now. Mmm, garlic and onion smell so good. Okay. We're going to let that cook a little bit more. And then, so some people are like, oh, how do you get that yellow like color when you cook your eggs? Your tofu scramble looks like eggs. And turmeric. So it's healing and it can be like a natural food coloring for foods. Okay, so a little bit goes a long way. So maybe I should measure this so you guys can see an actual measurement. Let's see. Start with half a teaspoon here. This stuff's awesome. I mean, it's so healing. I put it in smoothies. I put it in my cocktail last night. I made a raspberry tea turmeric cocktail. I put it in Jasper's food this morning. So I start with a half a teaspoon. Super anti-inflammatory. It's one of nature's most healing herbs, turmeric. They call it olena here in Hawaii. Alright, so we're sauteing that. Ooh, baby. Smells so good. So 2 blocks of tofu and only a half a teaspoon of the turmeric. And look at this beautiful yellow egg color. Okay, so easy, right? Now that it's like almost done, it's getting to that eggy consistency, the water's cooked down. Now, easy as pie. Oh, nutritional yeast. Sometimes, I think vegan cooking overuses nutritional yeast. I don't love the flavor. I love it in moderation. So it's savory. And it'll thicken things up. It's great for marinaras and sauces. It'll thicken up, absorb some of the water in here. It does add a nice flavor, but I like to use it in moderation. So we're just gonna put a dusting over. Sprinkle that nooch dust. What's that guy with the sprinkle? I don't know. Shannon showed me him. I didn't really get it, but apparently he makes millions off throwing salt on meat. Okay, oh, that smells so good. Okay, so that's mixed up. Now, last but not least, we're gonna take this, again, it's kale, capers, which are such a great way to get salt in there without overdoing the salt. Fresh whole farm tomatoes and sun-dried tomatoes. So we're just dump that all in there. I'll let you see what it looks like before mixing it up. Sizzle, sizzle. Get all of this out of here. Yum, yum. And you don't want to cook the tomatoes or the kale too much, just until it softens. That's why I added it at the end. Oh my gosh, it looks so yum. So while that is just simmering a little bit, we're going to turn it down to, I'd say, low medium-ish. Medium low. And then we're going to take one of these gigantic green onions here. And I already rinsed all of these. We don't want rat lungworm disease. I don't know if you guys know about that, but it is something that slugs carry from rats. They crawl on vegetables, and it causes severe nerve damage and pain and messes with your whole neurological system. It can cause paralysis. It's scary. They had found cases first on the Big Island, and then I guess this summer there were some reported cases on Oahu. I just make sure I wash everything really, really well, especially they found them on romaine lettuces and kale, so I don't think they would really go for the onion, but anywho. Okay. And then, like I said, because it is an Italian flavor, I would normally do basil, but we'll just do some cilantro. I mean, fresh herbs is fresh herbs, right? So I love cilantro. We're gonna put a bunch, and my boo does too. He's Mexican and Spanish, so part Mexican and Spanish. He grew up on cilantro. It's so funny. My mom hates it, and except she said it tastes like a dirty penny. So I think it's a genetic thing. If you don't like it, you don't like it. All right, so I guess last but not least was this garnish. And I use the stalks. I cut the stalks of the cilantro too. It still has a lot of flavor. I never discard those. I always throw them in my meals. Ooh, it's hot here. I can't wait to jump in the ocean. Gotta get my gills wet. I'm sweating. Okay. I mixed all this so you can see this little green onion cilantro mixture. And then let's check on our scramble. Ooh, yeah. Okay, so finishing touch. I forgot to put the crushed red pepper. I only have this little baggie of it. So crushed red pepper, you can do black pepper, crushed black pepper. And then, ooh baby, someone gave me this. It's truffle sea salt. So we're gonna use the rest of that on here. So a little dash of it. The truffles are already in there. And then we will take all these fresh herbs, throw it right on top. Give it a little mix in. And turn it off. So as you can see, we have a delicious, maybe you guys can't see it very well. I wish you could smell it because that's the best part. I'll just bring it in there. Tofu scramble. And cheers! Aliti and I are gonna make some vegan blueberry pancakes to go on the side. So we can link you to that recipe as well. And yeah, happy Sunday! And please leave comments or feedback, what would you'd like to see more, what you guys are interested. Shannon and I are so excited. We're starting a podcast, and once a week or once every 2 weeks, we're gonna do a question and answer. So any questions you guys want about, you know, food, probiotics, yoga stretches, anything holistic and healthy, we would love to hear what you guys want and give you guys some feedback and some great tips. All right, aloha, have a good Sunday, and we'll be talking soon.